Hi everyone, it's Gia. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk about something a bit different. I've been unsure about where I would like this channel to go, but I think I've decided I just kind of want to talk about my life and my journey and things I'm learning and all these kinds of things, because I've been on my own spiritual journey for about the past 2 years in particular have been very insightful for me. A lot of learning about myself and the things I value and the things I don't value anymore. So today I want to talk about something quite personal to me. Well, as you can tell by the title, it's about alcohol, and as of this week it's been a little bit over 23 weeks now since I have drank. I had a very Australian relationship with alcohol for the past decade. It is seen as a very normal thing to do. You know, you go out, you have drinks, you wait for the weekend, you have drinks, you'll drink at home. It's very ingrained in especially Australian society. It is so normal to just go out and get drunk every weekend. It's just, and it's very strange if you're not doing that. So I was just doing that for about, a good 10 years or something, and, because everyone else was doing it. I enjoyed it. It made me more sociable, made me more outgoing, helped my anxiety, at least I thought it did. Just helped me to relax as a more introverted person. Alcohol was like this magic cure-all for anxiety. It made me extroverted, it made me fun. Thought it made me fun. Looking back, it just made me really stupid. But at the time, I thought I was the life of the party. I was having a great time until I wasn't, and I realised, okay, this has stopped being fun. This has become a problem, and I think I was aware of it for quite some time. I was using alcohol as a crutch. I wasn't drinking every day or anything like that. So people would look at me and they go, "Oh, you don't have a problem. You just, you'll just binge drink on the weekend," which, we all do. But it was starting to feel like a problem because, once I started to drink, I couldn't stop. So I'm not one of those people who can just have 1 or 2 glasses of something and then just, call it a night. I need to keep going. So, I would start drinking and then I'd keep drinking. I'd throw up. I'd come back. I'd, drink more, throw up, go have another shot. It was this particularly stuff like I was drinking a lot of tequila, absinthe, so harder sort of alcohol. I just do shots of that, go throw up, do shots. So I'd be doing that all night. So basically, my body was instantly rejecting it. Well, no, not instantly. I built up enough of a tolerance, and I was very proud of my tolerance. It was kind of seen as like a weird badge of honour, where it's just like, oh, you can keep going, you can keep, drinking this amount, or it's just weird. It's weird what I valued or what I thought was important at that time. It was like a weird, I don't know. I thought it was cool. It was not cool. Basically giving myself alcohol poisoning every weekend wasn't cool. Throwing up wasn't cool. It just... But at the time, that was my routine. It's what I thought I enjoyed. Getting blackout drunk, not remembering anything, and making stupid decisions, ending up in dangerous situations. It was just, looking back, it's actually scary. So in February of this year, I'd had enough. I really had. It was a long time coming, particularly in the past couple of years. I felt like a strong pull away from it, but I was fighting it. I was getting increasingly angry when I was drinking, which was kind of new for me. I was more of like a laid-back, fun, bubbly drunk, and it just suddenly turned to... I was resenting drinking, and it was coming out when I was drunk. So I was getting increasingly angry. I was getting spiteful. I was just turning into a really nasty person drunk, and I think I was resenting the drinking aspect, but I just kept going because I was so used to it, and I was trying to make it fun again, and it stopped being fun years ago because I started drinking I think I must have been maybe 19, I think, when I first started really going out and partying. So 2014, I think, is when I started drinking, and it is, yeah, it's been nearly pretty much a decade. And yeah, just, yeah, going out every weekend, wrecking my liver, wrecking my health, wrecking my friendships. That was another thing. It was, yeah, I was forming these really shallow friendships with other people who our only common bonding experience was alcohol. You really have nothing in common with them, and that was the majority of people I associated with. Because, yeah, there are some people who I do get on with perfectly fine sober and we are friends, but the majority of people you'll find once you stop drinking, and that is still their main, their main interest and hobby, you realise you just don't have that much in common with them, and you will lose quite a lot of friends because, yeah, they end up being quite shallow friendships at least. But yeah, I went on like a health journey, or I've started going on a health journey beginning of this year, where I've just been trying to fix my body because I've realised the extent of damage I did to it over the years. I'm 28, so the damage I could have excuse my throat. The damage I could have done over the years could have been considerably worse. I probably did stop relatively early compared to some people. But I don't know, it was pressing on me to just quit. Like, it was just every cell in my body was like, just stop drinking, what are you doing? It's like having an identity crisis over it, and it was just, yeah, because, like, I don't think I was physically addicted to alcohol, but I was very mentally, emotionally caught up with it. It was very, this is how you ease the social situations, which, you know, if you're an introverted person with high anxiety, it's a miracle cure, isn't it? It's, just have a few shots and suddenly you can talk to anyone. You can hold any conversation. And I thought I was just absolutely... You think you're just invincible when you're on the stuff. And then having to relearn everything sober is... It's been difficult, but it's been good, because I do have to face fears sober. So I do have to interact and go into social situations that I would normally involve alcohol. I'm now doing sober, and that is a learning curve, 100%. Even going to, you know, gigs now, going to bars and ordering water, being the only sober person there, and everyone just basically interrogating you. It's like, why aren't you drinking? And they're just gonna go, oh, you know, designated driver. I'm like, no, I'm just not drinking. And people will just, it's like the one socially acceptable drug where people give you a hard time for not doing it in public. It's like seen as a very strange thing. Like, they just, I think people are curious about it, but it's, yes, still seen as very odd behaviour to not be drinking in a drinking environment. And the other thing too, it's just like going into those sort of areas, unless it's like a gig where I do actually like the band and I want to go see the music, just going to the pub for the sake of going to the pub and just being around only drunk people, it's insane. It's absolutely insane to watch drunk people when you are sober, and to remember, like, you can see it clearly. You can, like, look at everyone and go, oh my god, was I like this? And yeah, 100%, you just don't feel it because you're intoxicated at the time. And yeah, you just think, yeah, everyone just thinks they're untouchable when they're drunk, and that they're making the best decisions and that everything's awesome. But no, all common sense goes out the window, and you don't realise it because, yeah, you're drunk. But then actually talking to drunk people when you are sober, it is the most mind-numbing thing ever. You just think at the time when you're drunk that the conversation's the most interesting thing in the world, and they're really not. But yeah, so I thought I'd talk about some of the benefits that I've noticed since I've stopped drinking. Besides the obvious health benefits of not basically pouring poison into yourself all the time. I think that was a big turning point for me when I actually realised the extent of how bad this stuff was. Like, we all know alcohol's bad for us, but when you actually step back and really look at it, it is literally poison. think that was also a really big, yeah, really big moment for me when I realised that. And I'm just like, it actually sunk in. Like once it sinks in and it hits you, you're just like, holy crap, I just don't want to touch it now, just based on that reason alone. Like the cover up for anxiety is not enough of a reason for me to continue doing this. If it is literally killing me. Also, the hangovers were just getting worse and worse. You know, they'd go from 1 day to 2 days to 3 days to 4 days, and you'd still have the brain fog for at least a week afterwards. And I found, because I was drinking pretty much weekly, the brain fog was basically always there. So I was always hazy, I was always a little bit disoriented, a little bit just not quite 100% with it. Energy levels were quite low, unmotivated. Yeah, it was all very, but it was normal because I was just used to feeling like that. So I was just like, okay, this is just me. But then when I actually stopped drinking, I reckon about after the first month, I really noticed the lift in the brain fog. Originally I did have lack of energy. It was like my body was looking for the dopamine that alcohol was giving it, and because that wasn't coming in anymore, my body was like, yeah, it didn't know what was going on, which is understandable. You go, you know, nearly 10 years of drinking and you suddenly just cold turkey stop it. Yeah, it was in shock, I think. But yeah, it's nearly been half a year now. Is that correct? Yeah, nearly half a year now since I stopped drinking, and I've kind of surprised myself because originally I wasn't actually going to not drink again. I just wanted to give it a bit of a break and just see how I felt. So I didn't think I'd be nearly 6 months down the line, and still like wanting it less and less. Like anytime, like the temptation's always there. You know, like, oh, it'd be really nice to have a drink and just relax like that. I think that will probably be there for quite a bit. But the realization of how I actually felt, like remembering, like, it's not worth it. The embarrassing things I do when I was drunk, just everything. You have to worry about what you said to this person or who you texted, or just really uncomfortable holes you have to dig yourself out of the next day, and the anxiety from the hangovers and the anxieties from what you said and you didn't remember because you blacked out. And I blacked out every single time. I'd have full like hours of every single night where I could not remember for the life of me where I was, what I did, what I said, and that is so dangerous. And I think that was also a big turning point for me too, actually realising the situations I was putting myself in, and like, yeah, I got off scot-free the majority of the time, but, you know, it just takes one more stupid decision and, yeah, something could have gone horrendously wrong. And because I was drunk, wasn't in control of what was going on, had more limited capacities for things, just in a much more vulnerable position to be in, and realising that I wanted to be aware of my surroundings, I wanted to have my wits about me, and yeah, just realising the actual danger that I could potentially be in at that level of drunk. And at the time I didn't care, like that, I felt invincible. I genuinely did. I was just like, well, nothing can touch me, nothing can hurt me. But yeah, I was using it to basically mask everything I was trying to run away from, trauma, all that kind of stuff. Like alcohol was a great band-aid for not wanting to feel anything, not wanting to acknowledge, not actually wanting to do the shadow work or the hard work on myself. Yeah, but my body was starting to physically reject it, everything about, yeah, it was just time. It was time for me to quit, and yeah, honestly one of the best decisions I think I've ever made. It's uncomfortable, yeah, like being the only one sober at a party, anyone sober at a club. It's, or at least I know of. I have heard that a lot of people are now, at least a lot more people are choosing to go sober for multiple reasons. But yeah, it's been an interesting several months. I don't have the desire to start drinking again. Of course, the temptation is always there that, oh, okay, this would be nice to relax or calm down or something, but I know that that's just a temporary fix, and because I want to look after my body now, I want to restore it, I want to, yeah, I really actually care about my health now, whereas before I just was like, okay, if I get sick, then I get sick, if I've got something, but it was kind of like I was putting myself in those positions where, yeah, like of course I'm going to have liver problems if I'm consistently poisoning my liver, like, do you know what I mean? It was, yeah, actually caring about that stuff now, and it might just be more of an age thing now, and I've actually realised I'm not invincible, my body is not going to last forever, so I might as well take care of it the best I can, and not shove crap into it. Same with diet, I've completely altered my diet, stopped eating sugar, maybe in last year, start of this year, can't remember. Processed foods, like just, yeah, basically just eating whole foods now. I noticed a good changes with myself with that too. So that, along with the diet and just generally caring about myself more. Whereas, like, you know, back then it was just like, I don't care what happens to me, like, da 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 da. And actually now having that self-preservation there has been really good. But I think with anything, any kind of problem or addiction or, yeah, a routine that you're familiar with, which alcohol was for me. Like, I don't think, again, there was a physical addiction to alcohol, but there was very, very much a routine-based addiction to it. The feeling that alcohol gave me, that was what I was addicted to, rather than the actual physical substance itself, I believe. Like, I actually hate the taste of alcohol. I've never liked it, but, you know, after the first, you know, couple of drinks or something, it just tastes like whatever. Just got to get through. Which, again, if the body's just kind of trying to reject it from the first sip, it's sort of, yeah, probably not meant to be ingested. But again, yeah, so socially acceptable and normal, particularly in Australia. So, yeah, just a little rant there, a little bit of my story on alcohol anyway. Don't know, just wanted to talk about it. Hasn't really been the theme of this channel, even though it's only a baby channel, it's an emerging channel. Yeah, I just can't want to talk about my life on here now, I think. Yeah, you're welcome to stay along for the ride, or not. It's not your thing, you're welcome to unsubscribe or whatever, but yeah, I'm just gonna talk about, yeah, stuff that's relevant and important to me at this point and my journey. I think that's where I want to go with the channel. So yes, thank you for listening, and yeah, hopefully this comes out okay. It's just, yeah, me having a ramble. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!